Medicare Mel, Melissa D. Hall, with the Hall
Hello.
Insurance Group. And I am so excited to have her on today. I've been watching her on social media for 2, 3 years now, and she's a beautiful example of a woman and an insurance agent in our business. If you're not following her, you need to be. You're missing out. But today we're going to dig into a little bit about Melissa and what she's got in store for us next weekend. So, Melissa, without further ado, welcome your fans.
Oh, wow. Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for the opportunity to come and just, say hello to the group and tell them about the best AEP ever. Okay. It's the best AEP ever conference. It's online, it's free, it's virtual, and it's happening next week, August 19th and the 20th. Okay. So that's a Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. And I hope everyone out there can go ahead and register at www.bestaepever.com. And of course, you, Rebecca, you're going to be one of our fabulous speakers, okay? Helping everyone from grassroots marketing, of which you are famous for. And of course, we cannot forget about retention, right? Because it's not about what we sell, it's about what we keep. Isn't that right?
Absolutely, 100%. Otherwise, you're just chasing your tail. You got to keep it if you're going to sell it. So,
Absolutely.
we're going to teach you how to
Absolutely.
get it,
So,
and we're going to teach you how to keep it.
yes. I love it. So somebody said, will it be recorded? Yes, it will be recorded. There is an option to purchase the replay. I think the replay is only like $74.
Very
Yes.
cool.
Yep.
Well, let's dig into a little bit about you. So, a lot of people, they may not know you. You're on the East Coast. There's people on the West Coast. I'm from Texas. So, Melissa, how long have you been in the insurance game?
How long have I been in the industry? Sure. So I have been in the street. Hello. I'm sorry, just to let y'all know, some of y'all I cannot see y'all names. It just says Facebook user. So tell me, who you are. So tell me if you just say your name. And also I'm gonna give someone a free mug, whoever registers while we're talking right now. The first person to register, I'm gonna give you a free Medicare Mail mug. Do you have your mug, Rebecca?
I do, but it's on my other desk.
Okay. Somebody said I can't. Somebody said I can't hear anything. Is it just me? Just to let you know.
Let's see. I think it's just you, sweetheart, but let me go check the
Oh,
group.
Kelly Jones. Kelly James. Hey, Kelly James. And this is a Medicare Mail mug. Okay. It's beautiful. You have to have this.
Yeah, it's
So,
just you. I just checked the feed.
so the first one to register, not if you've already registered, I thank you for that. But the first one to register here in your live, I'm going to send you a free one for real. So, just a little bit about me. He's She said, "Oh, I can hear. Close your app. It doesn't. Okay, no worries." But just a little bit about me again. I have been in the insurance industry since 2008, since I was 21 years old. Like all of us, we kind of just fall into this business. Most people don't grow up saying they want to be an insurance agent. And was in college and I needed money. And I was one of those people. I feel like we all have that cousin or sister or niece. Like I was just always just not working out with jobs. I was just like, how they say unemployable. Like it really started from an early age, But I was always a hard worker. I was always a hustler. So I was working at a call center selling cable, and I went in for this interview, and I just knew it was what I wanted to do. Like I maxed out, my $500 credit card they give you in college with the 30% interest rate, and I just got to work. And I mean, ever since then, I've definitely had my ups and downs, my starts and restarts, because it's not easy. This business is not easy. The insurance industry has a higher fail rate than real estate. Okay. So it is not easy. And just it's just definitely I have a lot of, I guess, knowledge and experience. I'm willing to share it with other people. That's why I want to do this conference. I've helped a lot of agents reach success, and I know how it is to work and not see the rewards. And you sometimes just need that extra knowledge, that push, that mentorship, like sometimes you just don't know what you don't know, right? Because a lot of people, they get in this business and they don't look past the license. I don't know if that was your take, because I know you were at State Farm, but like I said, a lot of people, they get the business, they get the license, and they automatically think they know everything until they get out there. And they're like, oh, it's much more to this, right? And
I
so
always tell people, like, just pass the test. I don't care if you remember any of it because most of it ain't going to fly in the real world anyways.
exactly, it's definitely just like that. And I'm just here to educate and encourage. I think that Medicare is so important to be educated, because you're really messing with people's health. And some things you could do, you can't undo. So if I could just be part of helping to raise an educated army of agents, like, let's do it.
So you've been in the industry for 14 years. My gosh, girl.
Mhm.
I would have never guessed that. You're so young. I'm over here trying to hide my gray with pink. That's amazing. What do you think after 14 years? What do you feel has been your biggest accomplishment in the business, personally? Like, what are you most proud of?
What I think is my greatest accomplishment? Mm. I think definitely, restarting is my greatest accomplishment, and building things bigger and faster. So again, I was 21 when I started this business, right? And I had an agency and a call center, everything like that. And I was selling major medical, okay? But I did that, like, of course, right when Obama came out with the ACA, right? And so, of course, things totally changed like overnight. And so, I had to just like shift away from the insurance industry. Like I did, because, of course, making all that money at 21, I had dropped out of college and all those other things, right? So, during that time period, I got to work a job, and then I got to see, like, wow, people like hate their job, but they come here every day. It taught me like a lot of real world lessons that you don't necessarily get when you work for yourself, right? And so I went back to college during that time. I took a few years off and completed my degree. My mom was hounding me about that. But I also said too, I was like, God, if I get another opportunity to be in the industry, I'm going to do it right this time. That was in, let's say, 20. So how am I? So that was in 20. Was 5 years ago. So 5 years ago. Okay.
2017.
Okay. All right. So yeah, 2017. So went ahead, got back into the industry. Um, I had to struggle a bit because I was just doing final expense. Got back into Medicare, made my first 100K. I had never did that before, but I was able to use all my experience from being in the business previously. And it took me like a year and a half, which I think is more realistic. I know that it's all this stuff out here about people doing it in their first year and all that stuff like that, which I don't necessarily like. It happens, but as far as that being a norm, that really isn't it. I had to pay for leads. I had a lot of other things. I was really doing it all myself.
It's
So,
funny you say that because it's true. There's people that absolutely do it overnight. But I remember when I first met my original FMO in this business, and they had their little map, their timeline map, and it was basically in 5 years you were expected to have the $100,000 mark, right? Now, since then, we've gotten several raises, so I think that speeds the needle up a little bit. But I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I think, if you hit the 100,000 mark and in year 3, I think you're working the business consistently. There's people that hit it a whole lot sooner, and there's people that hit $500,000 in year 3 or more, of course. But I think, for the normal average person, anybody should be able to hit the 100,000 mark probably about year 3 if you are consistently working. Wouldn't you agree?
absolutely. I do think year 3, you could definitely hit 100K. You could definitely. Somebody said, register. I want to write 100 apps. Okay, well, good. Let me know your name. Inbox me, and I will make sure you get your Medicare Mel mug. Okay. But definitely, definitely 3 years is good to make 100K in this business, and you could definitely do it. And I think that is reasonable. And if you were working a job, and you make it $50,000 a year, you would never make $100,000 because your position isn't designed for that. So, we are blessed, in this industry. And I believe a lot of it is more mental than anything else.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the biggest problem in the industry is we get in our own way. It's
Oh,
not that the need isn't there. The people are there. The clients are there. It's us. We 100% mentally get in our own way.
oh, absolutely. It does get in your own way. And like also during AEP, it's like, to me, it's like such crunch time, and like everything that could happen happens during that time. And it's just a matter of being able to push through, and just teaching people how they can push through and how what they can look for. And a person wrote, I have a goal of 125 apps this AEP. You can certainly do it, as long as you have the right strategy in place, because the market has changed a lot since Medicare first started. Like, mailers aren't even working, they're not even working anymore, so as long as you have the right strategy, the sky's the limit.
Absolutely. So, do you just do Medicare, Melissa, or do you still do life and health
Sure,
insurance?
I do Medicare, I do final expense insurance, I do annuities, and I also do index universal life as well.
Very cool. Of those, what do you think has been maybe the easiest to get into and learn, and what is maybe the most challenging?
As far as what?
Just getting into understanding the product, being able to sell the product, maybe marketing, just kind of as a whole. Of those things, what do you think is the easiest to probably break into, and which one probably took you a little longer to understand?
Oh, which one's the easy breaking to? Which one's the problem? Okay, no problem. So I would say, hmm, the definitely final expense. That's the easiest one to break into because, it's not a lot to learn. It's not a big learning curve. Once you learn one, you learn them all. Most of the underwriting, if you know the medications, you can kind of underwrite anyone like fairly quickly. So definitely final expense. Like I got up and moving with final expense in like a few days, right? And also it's easy for people to qualify for it. When you kind of get with different companies, you can help anyone can get life insurance. They don't have to be 65 to get it. So definitely final expense, up and going. Also, one thing I like about being having that final expense background, it definitely teaches you a hustle. I always say, I believe that final expense agents, they make the best like Medicare agents if they have that hustle to them. Like they do really well here. They can definitely make a splash. The
I think
part
you're right about that, because I know this one lady that's in our women's group, and she was a final expense girl, never done Medicare, and last year was her first year in Medicare, truly, and she wrote 220 apps her first year in Medicare, and it's 100% because of that hustle.
Yeah. I mean, being a final expense agent, it's a hard knock life. You got to knock over and over and over again. You got to really sell because you're asking for people's money. A lot of the Medicare plans are no cost, so they're taking them out their Social Security check, all that. I mean, it's amazing the excuses people will give you when it comes to their wallets. Everything. Shoot, they gotta pray on it. All types of things. I say when they tell me they gotta pray on it, I give them the verses back. Okay, shoot, a man, leaves an inheritance for generations and generations, right? Like, I mean, they come up with some things, versus Medicare is totally different.
Oh my gosh, I would love to be in a room with you on the phone and hear you come back with a verse. That's gold right there.
Oh
I
yeah.
hope y'all just wrote that down.
Yes, and that's a real Bible verse too. A man takes care of it for generations and generations. And then when you start coming at them back with that scripture, they like, oh, they don't know what to do. Like, and they come back, So you got to get with them how they get with you. But that's so again, going to the Medicare, and so out of all of them, the one that I think is the hardest probably is Medicare. Medicare is definitely the hardest, because with Medicare, it's so many idiosyncrasies, right? And it has a lot of loopholes because Medicare is also law, right? So you have, and it also comprises a bunch of different agencies, like Joanna, she's famous for that because she's, all about the Social Security, right? So knowing like the ins and out of that to be able to assist your clients and get certain things done, then you have to know like the different carriers and if you are in different states, like what's changing in different states. And it's just a lot, where, final expense, annuities, IULs, for the most part, it's all the same everywhere you go.
That part's true. I personally probably have a little bit of a block, we'll say, with annuities specifically. We've written them, but it makes me nervous. I mean, you're dealing with a large piece of somebody's retirement. And for me, I don't want to screw that up. But I know health insurance and Medicare inside out in the back of my head, right? So it's learning something new and just not wanting to hurt somebody while you're learning, even though that's not your intent, it can happen. So, I mean, have a good mentor for sure. Well, in all of it, really, but truly, you better know somebody that knows about how to write an annuity. You do not want to lose somebody's 200,000 that they spend their whole life working for.
Absolutely. But one thing about annuities though, like, because I was always like you, like I always kind of had a block per se, because it's a lot of numbers and graphs and charts and all that stuff like that. Like it's totally different. But you just got to just like get into it, like really read the illustrations and do the training. Like it's just you can do it. It's when I say it's not that hard, like actually writing it and everything is not that hard. It's just a matter of having the clients trust you because you're competing against their financial advisor,
Good
but it's
morning, Myra. I don't want to miss. We're backing up here on. Hold on, let me catch us up on comments here. Good morning, Myra. Somebody asked, do we send letters to clients asking for a role this time of year? I think that's yeah, but we're gonna dig into that stuff next week. And there is a little confusion. Some of these things, is this recorded? I thought it was next week. So, guys, this is just an interview with Mel because she is hosting our best ever AEP virtual conference next week on the 19th and 20th. So this is kind of like a little format to kind of say, look behind the curtain so you know what to expect. This is live. It's technically recorded, but it's live in the group. So, and it's going to be there. You can go back and watch it anytime throughout the day or the rest of the week. But the actual event you have to register for, because what is that? Is that a Zoom, Mel?
Sure. The actual event is next week, okay, the 19th and the 20th, okay, and you have to go. It's to register. It's free at www.bestaepever.com. Okay, www.bestaepever.com. Go ahead and register now. Okay, and like I said, it's free. There is a replay option. Okay, so if you do, and I see you all registering too, so let's go. We have close to 200 people now who have registered, okay? And that's just a tip of it. So it's going to be a lot of agents online. As far as the replay, you can purchase the replay. Okay, it's only $75 or $74.99. It will be worth it, okay, because of course Rebecca, she's going to be on. Okay, we got Miss, I haven't announced all the speakers yet, but I'm gonna just tell you something. Miss Faye, she's gonna be.
Maybe not give that away. Maybe let's go just highlight maybe some of the topics that they're going to get into.
Highlight some of the topics. Okay, so some of the topics are going to be provider marketing, which is amazing. We have an amazing instructor for that. Okay, then we're also going to have making money during AEP. Okay, because that's big too. A lot of people, especially when you're new in the industry, cannot sustain themselves, for a whole, 2.5, 3 months in order to get paid. So we have somebody who's going to be in there talking about how to get paid during AEP. We have someone talking about taxes. I get a lot of questions about setting up your company, setting up your agency, different tax deductions as well. So we're going to talk about that. We have an industry news segment that's going to be with something called SOBA. It's called the Society of Black Agents. They're going to join me for industry news. And I'm going to just tell you, like, Rebecca, that's going to be like an interesting talk. And like I said, we're going to be talking about like compliance and changes. But that organization, right, they've actually written letters and advocated on behalf of African American agents. Okay, because apparently with the whole chargeback and stuff, then they were talking about the disparities of, how it's harder for, African American agents to pay those types of things, and whatever letter they wrote, it got these agents appointed. They're really into advocacy. So I thought that'd be cool, to have them on. They're a smaller organization, but I like the work that they're doing. Right. So they're going to be on there. We're going to have a quick chat. Also, who else do I have coming on? I got a lot of surprises. I just got a lot of surprises. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to play a lot of games. My goal is to tie in, like, I don't want y'all to feel like y'all are necessarily at home. I want you all to feel like you're right there with me. So it's going to be very interactive, educational, and it's going to be a lot of just training. It's going to be real good. So I'm excited.
Good morning, Miss Ela.
Yes.
How are you? And then, Melissa, did I get the website right? Bestaep.com?
Bestaepever.com.
Oh, ever. I forgot the ever. Let me redo this. Scratch that. Bestaepever.com. There we
Thank
go.
you, Denise. I saw that you registered. Thank you, Denise. Who else registered here? I'm seeing them come through.
So that's where you can go to register for next week's 2-day free event. So it's free if you catch it live.
Yes, it's free. And this is like information that people pay a lot of money for. People pay a lot of money for. Like, I'm actually going to, myself personally, I'm going to be talking about the journey of selling Medicare over by phone, right? So talking about exactly how you sell it, kind of what you need to say in the roadmap for that. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, because it's a lot that agents need to know, right? Then we're also going to talk about, on the second day, I'm going to be talking about the Road to 100 apps. That's more about like the business planning type of conversation. Right. So we're going to have technical conversations, and we're going to have some business conversation too. And you're going to get some real sales knowledge.
I love that. Honestly, the Bible verse thing, I mean, I've never heard anybody use that as a comeback. And that is gold. I'm not kidding. Everybody
Are you serious?
wrote that down. If they did not write that down, they're crazy. That was the
okay,
best.
hold on. Let me
you are creative. What other kind of creative comebacks do you have for people?
With other creative comebacks? I don't know. Okay, let's practice here. Give me an objection. All right, what am I going to be selling? What am I going to be selling you?
Well, Medicare, there's really not much comeback on that. Life insurance always seems to be the one where people struggle the most with the rejection. So let's stick with that. So if you got to pray about it, we got a Bible verse for that. I love that. How about I can't afford it?
You can't afford it?
I can't afford it.
Okay, well, well, let me ask you this, so this would be your only policy, is that right? Do you have any other insurance?
I do not.
Okay.
Because I can't afford it.
Because you can't afford it. So let me ask you this. If you can't afford it, Rebecca, and God forbid if something happens to you, because unfortunately we all do die, how will Cannon afford it? He has his own life and his own kids.
That boy better wash some dishes.
Wash some dishes. I hear you, but one thing about it is this. Cannon, he loves his mom, and God forbid when that day comes, because again, it comes for all of us, you don't want your son to be stressed out and to be, number one, is the worst day of his life. He's lost his best friend. But number two, that added stress, of having to figure out how he's going to pay for it. And, these funeral homes, they want their money right away, not months later. They want it, right now. Okay, so let's start off. I mean, we could go ahead here. We could either do this $10,000 option, or we could do at least $7,000 just so he could have something and not be stressed. What do you think?
I will say this, Melissa, just off record here. Did y'all catch that? He just lost his best friend. Ooh, even in role play. Ooh, that got me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, especially in his situation. My son's he's only child.
Yeah.
And I, honestly believe, once we're past the growing and teaching stage, it will be like that, right? He will be my best friend. And even in this role play scenario, ladies and gentlemen, that hit. I'm gonna tell you right now, that hit. She had me when she
Yeah.
said that. I was like, take my money. Like, I don't have any, but take it, because that hit home. So
Yeah.
slight verbiage like that,
And
gosh, makes all the difference, doesn't
and
it?
the thing is, like when it comes to like objections and stuff like that, it's just about, really kind of just telling people what it is, like a lot of times people really sugarcoat. Share the Bible verse, please. I will share the Bible verse as soon as I finish this thought. Okay. I got you. So, when it comes to like final expense or when it comes to Medicare or whatever, people are so caught up in the fact that everything is fine now, right? They're not caught up in the fact that something could happen later, right? So like we even stopped using, oh, when a person passes away, right? Or something. We actually use the word death. You know what I mean? That makes a bigger impact versus pass away. Because at the end of the day, it is dying. It is death. And that startles people and makes them uncomfortable. But sometimes you gotta, shake them up, you know what I mean? And give them reality. And, when it comes to handling objections and all that stuff like that, like I overcome the objections. That is definitely something. But I talk to people like one on one, like some real life, because it is real. Get down to their level and if they don't want it off that, after you're logically like rationalizing with them, you know what I mean? And of course, you want to give them alternative clothes, right? Would you like this to start the first or the third or something like that? That does help. But if they're not listening to logic, don't waste your time because you're going to have to run after that person every month. And that's a whole nother headache.
Oh, that was great. That's really great stuff. And it is really just some of the verbiage, just tweaking it just a little bit makes it hit home that much harder. Die versus passes away. Losing your best friend. Oh gosh, that this is fake, and I like hit right.
Yes.
Um, what do you know the number, the Bible verse, the actual number? Like, is it Corinthians? Is it or whatever like that, where they could actually just go look it up too and study it?
Study what?
Your Bible verse.
Okay, so all right, it's Proverbs 13:22. And it says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And that's real. And so when you start talking to people, about quote unquote leaving a legacy, even in Medicare, right? Like people really don't understand like that medical debt. Depending on your assets, they will come after your assets. These nursing homes, different things like that, they are like treacherous. So it's important you get people, thinking, because it affects us anytime you're dealing with a person's money. In Medicare, it does deal with your money. It does. Medical bills are the number one reason why people claim bankruptcy. So these clients, they do have a responsibility to maybe talk to you, right? To help with co-pays and out of pocket costs. They do have a responsibility, even when it comes between selling them a Medicare Advantage plan and a Med Sub. Like I always tell people, like it's a shame to me when a person gets so cheap on their health care. Like come on. Like come on.
I agree. I mean, I realize everybody likes the dental benefits built in or the vision, but at the end of the day, you're buying your medical policy. The most important thing about this plan should be the medical care. And if
Yes.
you really like that and it has dental, vision, hearing, or whatever included, then that's an extra win. That's a bonus. But you really should be advocating for people to choose the right medical policy for them and don't worry so much about the additives. The additives are bonuses, right? Find the right medical plan. And I've been that person. 23 years of age, flipped a car long before Obamacare, long before I was an insurance agent, didn't know, couldn't even spell insurance, had insurance, crappy insurance as it turns out. And I had to file bankruptcy at 23 years of age because I was $1 million in hospital debt. It happens. It's real life.
Yes, girl.
Yes,
girl.
You might be able to go pay $100 and get your checkup or get your kids' sniffles figured out. But if you have something real, cancer, car wrecks, strokes, that is real medical. And you're not going to just be able to, swipe your credit card and be okay with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, and that's exactly right. And like you said, you had 23, so you got some real life. That's real life.
It happens every day. And, we're in this to help people, whether it's life insurance, medical insurance, Medicare, annuities. And I think that's what it's all about. And I love the fact that you're holding this conference. I love the fact that it's virtual where anybody can attend. You're making it free. Nobody has an excuse not to be there, right? You literally don't have an excuse. If you have an
Yeah.
excuse, then you need to look inside because unfortunately you're getting in your own head. You are. There's no excuse for this. It's free. It's virtual. It's on a Friday, Saturday. I mean, mark it on your calendar and attend and get real help to explode your AEP. And that's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
Get real help, and help other people in the right way. You know what I'm saying? In the right way. And that's what it is about. And like it's just going to be a good time. And a person who writes 100 apps, that could be, 50,000 to $70,000 depending on what state. Right? Even if you write 100 apps and some of them are with, ancillaries like hospital indemnity, that's still very life-changing money, for doing the right thing. I mean, most people don't even have $2,000 in their account to access. So, you have 63 days to make 50,000. It don't get no better than that. And the great thing about Medicare is this. Even if the government shuts down, because we know they always play that game around that time, right? Especially with this being an election year, November and December, Medicare, because it's a claim to the doctors, it still gets paid. Okay. So you're still going to have your check in January, regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you right now, Miss On the Road Traveler?
Oh Lord, Rebecca. I am in Vegas right now. I'm here. Shout out to Juanita Coley. As maybe some of you all do or do not know. So I have my call center, and we upgraded our software in our call center to something called Five9. And like there's top like software like United Healthcare has them, Target has them, Verizon has them, and so I was on a panel with like the CEO of the call center workforce management for Walgreens, and also the vice president of a company called Dutchy. And just excellent people, and Juanita Coley herself and myself, just talking about the digital transformation, keeping employees engaged in a call center setting, how we're implementing the software. It was really amazing. So I've been here since Monday. I'm going home today. Vegas was wild, it was all right. I was working. So, but it was excellent.
That sounds very fascinating. I did not know there was even conferences like that. I'm gonna have to start looking for those. Seems like there's a
It,
conference for everything nowadays if you just know where to look.
Oh, it is. Like I'm telling you, like that's one of the number one tips. If I could give an insurance agent and you want to grow your business, like go to some other industries conferences, because you never know what you're gonna pick up from somebody or the connections that you're gonna make. And like Juanita, she gave me a good way to look at things. She was like, usually when you go to conferences, and you meet people who let's say are, I had to say the word lower than you, but maybe not as ahead of their career, right? It's a whole mentoring thing. When you meet people who are laterally, right? It's a matter of, kind of like competition or quote unquote sharing resources. But when you get out of your industry and you all are not competing with each other, it doesn't have to be those types of I guess quote unquote boundaries in a sense, and you can always pick up something, and just the ideas that I have picked up here and just seeing how other people do things and what is possible has definitely been life changing for sure. And I'm at a tech conference about call centers, and I plan on going to more tech conferences. Like it's amazing. And they treat you real good too.
I should go there because I'm not techie. That should be something me and my husband could go do together. I could finally find a conference he might like because he
Is he
hates going to these insurance ones.
is he a tech guy?
Yeah, he handles all my IT and stuff.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. I had my partner, he does a lot of my IT stuff too. It's really been a lifesaver. So he talks that language more than me as well. It be going over my head. It goes over my head, but I'm good at talking to people, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, exactly. That's how he is.
So
Typical IT people, right? They don't know how to talk to anybody. They know how to catch a computers.
that's it. That's it. That's it. And and it's so funny because being here with them, it's like, we the outgoing, excited, insurance people and everybody else, they're like, hey, they're just a different breed of people.
They're probably not as crazy as insurance agents, though.
You said what?
They're probably not as crazy as insurance
Oh
agents.
no, they're not. Like it wasn't like, when we go to our things, we have parties and all this stuff like that. It wasn't that. It was like a nice reception, you know, with wine. Like they're not party animals here. It's okay. We even had like a hackers conference or something called Black Hat. So we had a bunch of hackers in here. It's been interesting.
Oh, that does sound interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a conference for hackers. So you got all these little people with their glasses and their black shirts, going to this conference. It's
It
cool.
sounds like a great place for single lady insurance agents to go to if they need an IT man in their life.
Everybody, listen, everybody here in the hotel is like scared of these people low key. Like they were talking about it on the elevator. Like, did you hear they have a hackers conference here? Like, everyone's like, why are they not arrested? Like, they're getting together to learn more.
They're all putting their cell phones in airplane mode the whole time they're there. So
Okay, like it's something going on over there, man. It's something going on. So they get in the elevator, and I get in my corner. I look forward. I just don't know what to think, and I don't trust them.
that's funny.
Yes, man.
All right. So the 19th and the 20th, it's from 10 to 2 both days.
Yes.
So it's 8 hours of conference. She's not killing y'all in one day. She's spreading it out for you. So you can have breakfast and you can have lunch, a late lunch, and hit everything. I'm talking on day 2, I think at 11, right?
Yes.
And we're going to go kind of on a roadmap from taking your grassroots, how to bring in leads, and then ultimately how to retain them through the rest of the year. So we'll be walking you down a little bit of a roadmap there. She's already said she has tax people help. She has, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank now. Help me out. Well, remember, we have tax people. You're going to be talking specifically on like how to make calls, how to deal with people. Is that right?
Sure. I'm doing the journey of a call. So basically how to, like, what you need in order to make a Medicare call, right? How to sell the person, like the different elements, of the sales process of the call. Of course, because, I have a lot of agents reach out to me that just got their license and now they needed to get contracted, or they reach out to me and they have their license, they got contracted and they don't know what to do, right? So I'm really speaking to those agents, right? So we're going to take some baby steps. Sorry about that. If y'all hear that, I apologize. That's room service. But so we're gonna hear. So I'm gonna teach people, how to do a basic Medicare call. Like I'm gonna go over what to ask, right? What to ask a person. Like it's a lot of questions. Like for instance, let's say a person, you could be switching them from one plan to another, right? And all you see is, oh, their medication is lower or no cost on this new plan, right? However, you don't know that this person gets, durable medical equipment, these special bandages that they're getting, not from Walgreens, okay, but they're actually getting from a durable medical equipment supplier, and that they have to have that type of, bandage for their specific wounds, like all types of crazy stuff. And I'm dealing with stuff that's come up in my own agency, but if you don't know the right questions to ask, and those things are very important, you could really mess up, someone's health. So, I'm kind of going to go over like the key things to ask, like specifics, right? Then of course go into a scope, and just kind of just give the roadmap journey.
With some of the new rulings on recording calls, and since you do have a call center, will you be walking us through like how to record a call, maybe what headset to use, things like that as well?
Well, actually, believe it or not, we're going to have someone on. I won't say their person's name, but Sunrise Marketing. Well, I guess I did, huh? But But we're gonna have someone on, and they're gonna be going over their CRM system that actually records calls and does all that for agents. So we're gonna go through
Okay,
that
very
too.
good. Because that is a super hot topic right now, especially with field agents that have never had to do that before. They work from home or something, so they're on the phones, but they're technically field agents. They're not call centers. So this is new territory. I'm
They're,
getting
they're,
asked that.
they're expecting field agents to record calls too, right?
Yep, that's what I mean. So these field agents that have never done that, they're trying to figure out how to do this.
That's crazy. So we're definitely gonna have some tech talk, and we're gonna talk about that as well for sure. Because agents do need a solution, trying to figure that out. It's so weird, and that's why we're gonna have that whole compliance talk, because a lot of the rules have changed, and just talking about it, because we need to talk about it. And a lot of agents aren't even aware of everything, especially new in a business. This year, I don't know, Rebecca. I mean, I always say, like, it's going to be interesting. Like, this year is going to be something, right? Because I've had people contact me from overseas, okay? And they're sending people from their countries, okay, to the US to get licenses to start their own insurance agencies. Do you understand? So this opportunity has gotten so big that people from overseas are sending people here to get into Medicare. And so, and with all these rules, it's going to be very interesting what happens next year, right? I think like this AEP is going to be very life changing. It
I
really
think they should make some rule. Unless you are physically in the U.S., you can't make calls like that on Medicare. Like, unless you are
they're
physically
listen
on U.S. territory, you cannot solicit for Medicare. That's insane.
right. They're coming here though. That's the thing. They're
Well,
coming here
are they coming here getting licensed and then going back and opening the call center in their home country?
potentially. Some of them
See,
are.
that's where I don't really have a problem. Somebody wants, I mean, that was the American dream, right? That's what
Right.
America was built on. You come here, you gain an opportunity, you stay here, and you flourish in your opportunity. But to come here and get a license and then to go back to wherever home is, and
Yeah.
it's not in the US, and now you're calling from a country that's not even US. There's got to be some regulations there.
It has to be, and it's like I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. It's so I just really don't like, because they don't care. You know what I mean? They don't care. I don't like it. I have an issue with it. But I'm just saying, to the fact of that's how big this opportunity is, and like the secret's out. The secret's out. At one point, Medicare used to be quote unquote a secret. You know what I mean? But now, with just, of course, social media has really revolutionized everything and getting information out. And with the Facebook groups and just people posting online, the lifestyle, whatever, and it's a no cost type of thing. So the secret is out and people are seeing the opportunity. I mean, we have over 100 million people on Medicare. People see it. So it's just, in Medicare, we still have definitely some double digit growth to go, because at the NAHU conference, they spoke about it. I think it's for the next 10 years, it's like 2.4%. And then after that, it shrinks down to 1.4 as far as the growth.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And I, this is an amazing business. It's done amazing things for me. I'm all about the opportunity for everybody. It's not that I want to limit that opportunity, but these call centers that are being established overseas, that needs to stop. I mean, It needs to be on U.S. territory if you're soliciting our seniors, in my opinion.
Yes.
If you want to come here and build something here and live the American dream, come on, baby. I'll help you. I'll teach you. I'll train you. But, calling from wherever in the middle of the night, I get text messages because my phone was linked to my mom's account. And she's been passed now for 3 years, over for 3 years. And I still get calls on my phone from people that I don't understand trying to sell my mother a Medicare policy. That is nuts. And they're calling like at 10, 11, 12 o'clock because of time difference, and they can't keep up on what time it is here and things like that. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Wow. Yeah, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And like I said, after this year, it's going to be very interesting, because somebody's going to get caught up, um, And I just hope, I pray for our seniors that they're okay. Because at the end of the day, this is not just, oh, you just make a sale. It's a real person behind each transaction that we do who's going to use this coverage and who's going to expect for it to pay or who's going to expect for it to work, you
Yeah, we're
know?
not selling magazine subscriptions here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And that's what it's all about. Like that's why I keep saying like having an educated sales force is just um essential.
I 100% agree. Melissa, it's been
Yes.
such a pleasure. We are coming up on noon. I know you have a flight to catch today. Thank you for fitting this in. I really hope everybody takes advantage of your bestaepever.com conference. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to be a part of it. And if you're not joining, you're crazy. It's nothing but free knowledge. Where else are you going to
Free.
get that? It's free, live, up to date, right now knowledge. So bestaepever.com. Go join, go register, and we will see you there. Melissa, do you have any final words?
Huh?
Do you have any final thoughts?
Say that last part. I'm sorry, you did break up, Rebecca.
Do you have any final thoughts?
You said, do I have any final thoughts?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. None at all. I wish everybody the best for this AEP season. I hope to see you all next week. Rebecca, it's always a pleasure. You know, Rebecca, she's a jewel. Make sure y'all reach out to her. Join Club Win. I know y'all have a retreat coming up. Okay. And she's just been a wealth of knowledge and she helps anyone, you know, and it's lovely. We finally met, you know, earlier back in July. And it wasn't like I met a stranger. It was like I had met my friend. You know, I flagged her. I flagged her down. I was the first person she saw. I was like, "Hey, girl." She was like, "Who is?"
Well, I recognize you, but I was like, this is Texas, and you don't live anywhere near here. I'm like,
Yes, it was so nice seeing you. I was like, I had to show her some love, man. It was just so nice. I always tell people, I'm like, my insurance friend is better than my other friends. Okay, like seriously, because it's like you really start because we all going through the same thing, you know. And so Rebecca is truly a sister, and she come from the right place. So y'all keep close to this lady. Thank you.
thank you all. We love you. Bye,
Love you too.
Medicare Bill.
Medicare Mel. Bye. See ya.
BestAEPever.com. Medicare Mel.
Medicare Mel. See y'all later. Love you all. Bye bye.